Oh my God, another Flip Through Friday, reporting to you from my front porch here on my little farm in North Carolina. There's Betty Gold, and there's my new building. This is like the first ever junk journal that I did after finding out what junk journaling actually was. This was a Reader's Digest cover. This is a picture from that Magnolia magazine from Chip and Joanna Gaines there. And this was from paper raffia that I just unfolded and put on the corner. This cover came out great. I don't know why. Okay, I just don't know. So I was kind of like going along with videos from people in the Junk Journal Junkie Facebook group and community. And they have got some super talented artists, and it really helped me to find a a style and kind of settle in a little bit to a different way of arting than I was used to. Because while I made a lot of books and done a lot of this type of stuff, I had a lot of paper. I had a love for a lot of different paper things and didn't know why, and didn't know what I could do with it. So, some of it has come apart a little bit because it's been, stored. This here came from it was a greeting card, that right there, and it's beautiful if you can see that. Beautiful. I did all the signatures, sewed them in. I was going to get the full experience of what these people were creating. So I took lace. This was all stuff I got on one of my trips to New England, where there was a whole bunch, I got trim and stuff. I missed the flea markets up there. I do a lot of flea marketing while I'm there. I kind of base my 90% of my vacation around where I can go buy junk. So this was a Dollar Tree greeting card that I distressed with a paper distresser that I was given in Happy Mail. And I went through and altered a whole bunch of index cards that I still use to this day because they're old index cards, so when you dye them, the lines don't go away. This is actually watercolor on a book page, and I created this little thing there. Again, like I said, I was watching videos and doing what I saw in the videos. Another greeting card that I punched the corners with. I bought a corner puncher, and an edge border. I love this bird. Whenever I think about this journal, I think of this bird. So this is a bag from a truck stop bathroom. No, I did not take it out of the bucket, but they had a ton. So I grabbed me a few, and then this is just stationery paper that I dyed to put in my bag. Count the dots. I still have a lot of those. Connect the dots. Doily. This is wax paper, actually, that I had put down to dye a whole bunch to coffee dye with spray, a whole bunch of tags that I was making out of encyclopedia pages. Actually, we went by one. This paper here, I sprayed that with coffee on both sides, and I loved how the wax paper came out. I love how the dyed pages came out, and I have not been able to recreate that since. And I know it has to do with how concentrated I had the coffee, because I used instant coffee, and it was super duper extra concentrated, and I haven't been able to either get it too concentrated where it's too sticky, or it's nowhere near that strong. So those were sticky for a while. This came from, I bought my first fancy paper pad that wasn't on some kind of clearance at Michael's. So yeah, I haven't been able to recreate that. I put some wax paper over a music sheet. And like I said, they were sticky. This is just a pillow. Oh, this comes from my how to use magazine images for junk journal ephemera. That's what that is, magazine image, and I put book page on the back, because why not? An envelope. I was seeing a lot of people doing that. So yeah, that's the perfect paper, and I haven't been able to do anything about it. A little honeybee in the middle of the signature. I like these little ideas where you have a few pieces of paper underneath a big flapper there. I don't know why I don't do that. You know, why don't I do this stuff? Oh, I'll tell you why. Because this journal isn't out in the open for me. So I first play with printing free printables that are horrific quality, image quality, scrapbook paper that I had, that I then put a magazine image on, more of that wax paper, doily, count the dots, that bag. This is a flower I made when I first had my big shot. That was the first die I bought, was Spellbinders nesting flowers die set. So yeah, this was curved trim and I just couldn't get it to work. Lots of belly bands with plants that I cut out of magazines. Why don't I do that? Like, you know, I look through this stuff and I'm like, man, what a good idea I had, you know. Pocket made with book page that I covered in my very first package of napkins that I purchased. This is one of those dyed index cards. This envelope is obviously not going to open. Summer. Oh, yes, I was doing this as a seasons thing. So, napkins, that's one of the free printables. Another belly band, more scrapbook paper, more free printable, dyed paper. This is an invoice, and I tucked it in here like so, with stenciling or stamping or something on the bottom of it. Here comes flying a mama cat. More scrapbook paper, greeting card. I'm still like this whenever I make a journal. I don't like white. I'll cover it, like this is a magazine image that I glued onto the backing of scrapbook paper. I will cover it, but I just cannot leave the white. It just bothers me. I do now. This envelope, I embossed this. How cool is that? Why don't I do that more, you know? More magazine images that I backed. I do leave white space now because people tell me that they like a little bit of space for their own thing. And I'm like, okay. So I do force myself now, but it's not, it's painful on occasion to have to force myself to do such a white page thing. Uh-oh. Yep. See, I was trying my hand with matte medium. Matte mediums at the time, and I learned that I live in North Carolina, and the humidity here just ruins everything. So, humdinger, I love that. Another magazine image, another little envelope I did with dry watercolor that I just barely wet to spread, and it came out with that cool look. A magazine image, some more cheapo quality printables. This is a card that I embossed. You know, why don't I do that? I have some stationery cards that are solid color like this, and they're thicker. Why don't I go ahead and emboss them? That's amazing, you know? Another that I did with watercolor, and there's one of my tags from the perfect tag dyeing ordeal. More scrapbook. Autumn. This was, you know, from a travel guide. Guest checks. I like putting napkins on guest checks. I don't know why. This, though, I only pulled one layer of the white off. I did not realize there was more than one. Oh, yes, I put my very first jelly printed tag in there. Very first time I jelly printed on a tag with my homemade jelly that I just melted back down to use again. Paper, music. Ooh, look at that. It's like a bookmark tag. That is, oh, but it's a playing card. On one of those, this is all watercolor on there. Wax paper. Ooh, this is a funky tag I did. This is actually a belly band. I must have, ooh, yep, I did. I cut something out of this, and I wasn't going to throw this scrap away. Wow, I was really talented when I didn't really know what I was doing. Oh, I love those flowers. We're going to be doing some flowers. I'm going to make a video of some fun flowers that I've done in my lifetime. Nice. Oh, this was, I had, before I had my die cutting machine, I was taking die cuts and things that I got in Happy Mail or things out of magazines that I liked, and I was making templates that I still have, by the way. Templates out of chipboard and cereal box, and I was tracing all that stuff out by hand, including my tags, including all the stuff. All right, some of the tags, I found a free site that had like printable tags, printable seed envelopes, printable, shaped like grid paper, all different style grid paper that you could print. And I haven't been able to find that again. This has 2 pockets, 1 on each side. Y'all, I am like, what? Magazine, a ledger page on the back of a half of a time card. Because I got a whole bunch of time cards that were used. So I cut out the empty section. Ooh, I like this. This is my little ribbon pocket made out of a magazine page plate. So just some crap there. Grass. Had that scrapbook paper forever. I might have used all that scrap paper up now that I think about it. If I have any, it's very little. Y'all might have gotten some of my scraps. To those of you who bought up my scrap packs, you might have gotten some scraps of that. Winter. Nice. That's a greeting card. Oh, that was a die cut I got in Happy Mail because I know I don't have that die. Envelope. So when you flip it, it opens. Or it did at one time. Ooh, chilly wind. So this is, I have this paper still. It was from one of those fancy journal notebook things that you used to buy. I got one at Barnes & Noble a long time ago. And that came from that. And I still use that paper for my stuff. More stuff. Tag made out of music paper with a napkin on it. Doily. Tea dyed paper. Well, I was coffee dyeing then. I wasn't using tea. Envelope on a piece of pipa. Those are pretty envelopes. Sorry if I'm off camera here. I'm actually enjoying looking through this sucker. Oh, so yeah, so I put a lot more blues in here, like wintry color, blue. This, because I screwed up, I had a couple tears on this page, so I just glued 2 pages together, I think. Or no. No, I didn't. Another matte medium river. Printable, and a tag with this cool belly band. That was a scrap. That was definitely a scrap piece, I could tell. Envelope, time card, wax paper, the sky, tea dyed, doily, tags, tag, another envelope with a cardinal and some snow. Yep, and that's on my snow paper there. This was when I first started experimenting with sprays. This is like a scrapbook paper that's supposed to look like watercolor, art. That was cool. That was a fun scrapbook to go through. And the last one is a pocket behind this envelope. And the last piece of wax paper, and there's the end. So I'm kind of proud of myself with how this came out. And I covered the spine to cover my horrible looking not lined up stitches, which is what I still do to this day because I suck at lining things up. And this is all of the interest on the top and on the edges. So yeah, definitely one of my favorites. It's even gotten a little dirtier since then. So yeah, it's gotten pretty beat up. But I love how that adds to it, Thank you all for another wonderful edition of Flip Through Friday. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you click on the hashtag below in blue, and you go and visit some of the other participants in this weekly collaboration, because it is an amazing group of artists. I once had a flower there, I remember, and it must have come off. This had gotten wet at one point in my storage area. So, that is all. I hope you all have a terrific night. Ta-ta for now.